Welcome back to the corner of Main and Gervais. Man, oh man, what a cool guest I have today. Man, you just popped up on the radar and I snatched you. For those of you that are fans of Pat Conroy, and if you live in South Carolina, I think you're kind of required to be. This is Sally Ann Robinson.
Yes.
How are you?
I am fine, and thank you for having me.
It's so great to have you here. So if you ever read the book, The Water is Wide, the memoir by Pat Conroy, where he goes and he teaches on Defusky Island, a group of young students.
Yes.
This is one of those students.
Yes.
Pat Conroy taught you and then wrote a book that became a classic.
Yes, it did.
Oh my goodness. How do you begin an interview like this? First of all, tell us what it was like for you all when this young, brash, very different man comes in and takes over from this old retired teacher.
Shocked first because we never knew men's taught.
Really?
Yes. It was always female, and him walking in, we wasn't sure if he was just a guest or somebody that was going to temporarily take over the class until the actual teacher got there. But he came in, introduced himself, and the ball started rolling, and it was off.
The ball started rolling, and it's still rolling today.
It is
I mean, you still tour with him
Yes.
or without him, and you talk about your experience.
Yes.
What I mean, I've read the book, you know, and you're reading about this. You could only get to this island by boat,
Yes.
and the kids thought snakes ate you, and he said, you know, they couldn't read, and next thing you know, you brought me pictures of you guys in Washington, D.C.
Yes.
What kind of world did he open up for you all?
A whole wide world. Things that we were not taught before, took us places we had never been, and up until 2010, I actually went back to Washington, D.C. to the Smithsonian when I was invited.
Is that right?
Yes.
From Defusky Island to being invited to the Smithsonian.
Yes.
You also said that you recently held a seminar or something with Pat Conroy.
I was in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Tulsa.
They had the Tulsa Read. It was great. We had a wonderful time.
Because so you still are in contact with him.
Very much so. Pat and I are in contact. And a lot of folks, when they get him, like to have me because it's the teacher-student thing.
Yeah.
And the story comes, you know, together for them.
How many of the other students are you in contact with, or is he in contact with? And what became of them? I know it's hard to generalize, but...
Well, everyone other than the three that passed, deceased, is actually, you know, parents, grandparents now, working their jobs. I do know where all of them are. On occasion, I see them. Fourth Saturday in June, most of us gather on Defusky for a Defusky Day celebration every year.
Does Pat Conroy ever come to that?
Pat has been trying to come. He has a few health issues that have stopped him in the last couple of years. But he's still trying to, you know, get across that water.
Get across the water. Speaking
Yes.
of, I love this copy of the book, The Water is Wide, because this is you.
That is me.
This is you right here.
Yes, yes.
What kind of a student were you? What does he say the kind of student you were?
I was always curious.
You were?
Yes.
Well, that's a teacher's dream, then. Unless you're like
No,
crawling on the roof to see what happens if you throw a rock off of it. You know, that's not so great.
not that kind.
Yeah.
I was always curious because when he started open doors about things that, about the world beyond us and the things that were in the book, that we understood more of what they were saying, because he did a lot of demonstration and showed us what these things meant and how they work. It just was like, give me more. Hunger for knowledge started kicking in.
There's this great part in the book where everything you guys learn, he puts it into a cheer or a chant. Did he really do this with you guys?
He made learning fun.
So he's literally screaming out, "What the ocean is
Yes,
it?" And y'all all
honest.
scream, "Atlantic!"
Honest.
And then just completely,
Yes.
who's the president of Vietnam?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And so you guys did all that.
We did all that. we enjoyed it because we was, you know, actually just having so much fun learning the things that he felt that we needed to know once we leave the Fusky, that world beyond us had to offer.
He was fired
Yes.
for insubordination, among other things.
Yes.
He essentially he felt like he could do more with you all than probably the district felt you all could achieve.
Did more.
What was, do you know, looking back, you may have been too young, the other people on the island, the other people in the district, what they thought about him? Were they like this whippersnappers coming in across the water, thinks he's highfalutin, or
Getting ahead of himself.
because you had this teacher next door where he could hear she was whipping them with
Yes.
the leather belts and everything like that, and he's taking you guys to D.C. What
Yes.
was there? Did you ever recall tension or anything?
Well, being a kid, you don't pay attention to a lot of those things among the adults. But we knew that Miss Brown, who was the teacher next door, who was very strict and believed in the belt, had their times of their run-in on what one should do, what one shouldn't. He felt that, you know, the whipping wasn't teaching us anything; it's just making us afraid, and that was true. But you know, we just enjoyed him for what he offered to us, and we kind of like just wanted to be with him. I got up every morning just wanting to go to school because this man was there with all this fun stuff to offer.
Right. And now we're in this huge controversy over how to make education better.
Fun.
Yeah, and there's a book. There's a guide right here, isn't it?
Trust me, if you can get kids' interest by having fun.
Yeah.
It did for us, and I know that I've even tried doing a little teaching after I graduate and stuff, but just to get their attention. These kids don't want to come sit in a class.
Well, he obviously left a good legacy with you because you are a cook and you've written 2 books.
Yes.
So you are doing quite well.
Yes.
You're sitting here in this chair with me, so my gosh, you peaked. You have peaked today. Thank you so much for coming and speaking with us. Good luck to you,
My
okay?
pleasure.
All right. Man, what a great story we've got right here. We'll be right back.